What is up? Welcome to the Carpool Lane. Damn. Episode 98. What's up, guys? We are back. Man, 2-month hiatus, man.
2 months?
2 months. Yeah, the last time we did was with Fernando and Leslie. And we were talking baby talk. How's the baby going, Leslie?
2 months ago,
Kicking my butt.
Cooking in there?
Cooking.
He's going to be a great soccer player one day.
He's kicking
I know it. Him and JJ are going to be great. JJ wanted to play soccer, too.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
you should put it in,
yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
But anyways, guys, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm with my beautiful wife, Stephanie.
Hello.
And I got Jessica back.
What's up?
She's been gone for a while.
I know.
Yeah, we haven't done this in a
That's
while.
why I'm like, 2 months? Are you sure?
I know. Well,
It's
for
like
us,
6 months.
you, it's hard to keep down. I don't know. And it is. Let's see. We got Jenny back. Say hi, Jenny.
Hey.
We got Santi here. So safe, man. And Dominic.
Boo.
Boo, damn. Hate. Dominic, say hi.
Hola.
Hola. Wow.
Who told you Spanish? That's good.
And Michaela, say hi.
Hi.
I remember the
Michaela's
first
not
time
Spanish.
Michaela was on here, she was so
Michaela
quiet. We
for
did that
her trip.
Thanksgiving
I didn't say
episode.
anything.
You were so quiet.
Didn't say a word.
And so
Say
innocent
words,
back
like-
then.
I
Oh
can't give a
man.
shit.
Yeah.
Going around the circle.
Yeah, we're gonna. Oh, and say hi, Fernando. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Hello.
And yeah, guys, we are officially moved into our new place. 2 weeks in, 2.5 weeks in. Yeah. Barely. Yeah.
Seems like longer.
No,
No, it
and
seems
it's,
like longer
and it's
for
a
real.
beautiful place. We finally made it. We're homeowners now.
Right.
In the Bay Area, which
In the
is
Bay Area.
fucking hard, man. Just the down payment itself was just scary. I was like,
Painful.
what the? Yeah, it was painful.
Painful is
Leslie
the
and Fernando know
perfect
full
word.
well what it was like. I was like,
it's,
damn.
yeah. Once you
It-
put
it
that
takes a
down
hit.
payment in,
It's
it's
depleted the
yeah.
bank account.
Just when I thought like, oh man, my wedding took a hit. No, down payment did.
No,
So-
I mean, but the way that I put it is, well, this is what we were building up for. You know,
Mhm.
this
Mhm.
is why we were saving for so long, and so this is it. This is a good reason to have a depleted
Yeah.
bank account.
The best part too is like we at least got our parents, close by to watch JJ.
Yeah.
He's still close to family, so that's really great to have them there. And close to Jessica, of course. Can't do a podcast without her. We started this thing with you.
We're close.
Just
to
me and you in the
JJ.
car.
I'm
Yeah.
close to JJ. That's
is
all
that
that
how,
matters.
is that how it started?
That's how it started, man.
Yeah, the carpooling.
Yeah,
What?
because she
Starts
worked down the
going.
street downtown in San Francisco in Financial District,
Okay.
and I worked up the block, and so we just met up, and then we just took a
I used to
car
work a corporate job.
Okay, nice.
I love when people say
She doesn't
that.
want to say what she works in, but yeah, and then we just I just held up my phone and we just started talking bullshit.
and with traffic.
Nice.
Yeah, in traffic, and that's how it started. And then we got a professional microphone. That's when Jessica was like, after a few weeks, we were like, we gotta get a Yeti microphone and stuff like that too. Even Miguel asked me about the microphone. He's like, dude, what type of microphone
Perfect for
you use?
ASMR.
Oh, that too. We don't do it.
You've tried it.
I know.
No?
What's that?
Oh my god, I'm gonna try that next.
YouTube
Oh,
it
that's
one
our
day.
next podcast, ASMR podcast.
ASMR podcast.
It's just gonna be us trying different sounds out the whole time.
Yeah.
Chips.
For an hour.
Anyways.
It's like sound.
It's like
Anyways,
fast
let's hit the ground running because Jenny has a limited time here. Let's do this right now. Okay, so the Netflix special, Dave Chappelle, the closer. It's his last special, I guess, for now. He had a deal with Netflix, do a bunch of specials, and I think I've seen like 4 of them. They're, I laughed at them. They're pretty good. This one's the last one.
He's done 4 or 3 already?
He had a deal with Netflix to do like a bunch of
Yeah,
them.
but I just remember
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
one, the last one that was like
Yeah.
all like
well,
just like
technically,
this.
this is his last one.
Yeah, his last one for now. And so yeah, it's got a lot of controversy because it does a lot of jokes about transgender people and LGBTQ plus people, and he goes hard on other people as well. But it's definitely got a big build up because I think some people who happen to be transgender like ran into a meeting with the corporate executives, and I think they got suspended or something like that. And now it's creating like a big controversy with Netflix. But Netflix is still like, we still
people
support Dave
quitting,
Chappelle. Yeah, it has some people quitting. And so
Wow.
it's just got this really big thing going on. But Netflix is still like backing up Dave Chappelle's special. But, I watched it once. Yeah, I know. I watched it once just for regular, and I watched it again just because like now it got this huge controversy. So I watched it a second time.
To take notes.
To take notes. To take notes. Somebody watched it a little bit, half of it.
Yeah.
Jenny, you saw it, right? You saw the whole thing?
Mhm.
You saw that? Okay, no, this is great, yeah. Jenny, go ahead.
Juicy.
Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm gonna talk too much today.
No. Oh, you were shy a minute ago.
So
Get past me.
It passed you? Okay.
Sorry.
Dominic, what have you heard of it? Because Dominic hasn't seen
I
it
haven't heard
yet.
anything. I just whatever you guys are saying right now.
Yeah.
What do you mean you haven't heard
I'm
anything?
the same
Well,
way.
Steve was talking about it the other day.
Yeah, but it's not the same thing that he just said, like about the contract.
Yeah, but okay, what do you think about what you've heard so far?
Yeah.
That's what they're asking you.
But I haven't even heard what he's like said in the Netflix.
Dominic, why don't
Have
you
you
know
heard good
more?
things, bad things about it?
The only thing I've heard is controversy and bad things, like what you guys.
Mhm.
Oh.
Since you guys watched it, why don't you say what you guys think?
I'll be
Okay.
brief. I'll be brief. It was
Say what like don't give your point of view in it if you don't want to. But how was it? What was it?
well, I don't really want to like repeat too much of it, but I do think that obviously I think he should be able to do the comedy he wants to do and all that. Like I support that part of it, but I can see it being offensive and kind of like not even offensive, but kind of not embarrassing, but
On
He's
his
a
part,
bitch.
like just really like rude to the trans community, because it's like I think that's a community that is already like they're already like their backs are against the wall. They're kind of treated a certain way, or they have been historically. Like things are hopefully getting better, but like it was just validating a lot of the certain arguments people will make against them, I guess, in a way, or to like
What do you
take away, invalidate like their identities, I guess. So he was like, so I get that it was part of like his his routine, and I get that he like that he is friends with people who are transgender and all these things, but I could imagine that if I was sitting there like as a trans person with cis people next to me, like in the audience, or just watching like Friday night, with your friends, and there's someone who like has a huge like influence and following saying the same things that a lot of people who make you not feel so good about yourself say, it would like be offensive. So I totally understand why people are offended. Like there are certain things that were too much for me, like, and like, as a non-trans person, like I was like kind of felt like offended by it. But I think like at the same time, like I like David Chappelle, like I support him saying whatever he wants to say. Like I support free speech, and like art, is up to the person making it. I don't think art should be like regulated.
He did tell a story about like how a woman came up to him and he was like, "This is my art. It's how I don't mean it for it to come out like that way, but that's how however you interpret it is up to you."
Yeah.
And then the joke was like, the woman was about to say something. Well, I think he's like, "Shut up, bitch! Just shut up!" But he's like, "No, I was just kidding."
Okay, that part.
I was hella
that
laughing
part,
at that.
Yeah, I know, that part was funny. We were
But he's like thinking in his head like, "This is what I'll," because like like you can put a painting on the wall and someone else can walk by you and be like, "Oh, that's offensive," but like you didn't mean for it to be offensive, but they're interpreting it that way, and so like that's how he's saying how his
Like,
comedy
how is this any other different
Yeah.
kind of thing, I guess.
And so I mean like I think okay for me like I think he went a little bit too long on the transgender jokes. I was like,
That's
man,
what
this,
she was
like,
kinda
the whole thing
saying,
is like 75% of it is mostly all on that. And he does embrace it. Like I'm about to open up and answer questions based on
felt like he was mad at someone. Like it really felt like this is what's been bothering me. And then towards the end, I realized that something had happened.
Oof.
So he was kind of defending
He should
himself.
have started off with that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Or just been like, hey, like I feel this thing happened to me. This show's gonna be about that, guys. Like.
I mean,
that's what I like about Dave Chappelle. He doesn't really give a damn.
Yeah,
really,
yeah. This is actually his second time talking about transgender people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and his other special he did it too, but this one he did a little bit more, longer.
I kind of want to nip it in the bud, I guess, in a way.
Yeah.
So.
I mean,
go
take the mic, go for it.
First of all, I have not seen it.
Okay.
But we all know who the fuck Dave Chappelle is. We know his fucking his comedy the way it is, and this is who Netflix wanted to bring. This is how he's always been. He's not gonna change, especially from the era that he's in. Come on, we can't change our parents, and our parents are okay. My mom's not from that generation because she's from Mexico, but I think we were getting the end of it. We were starting, like, our generation was starting to get the end of Dave Chappelle, but we didn't see the raunchiness that it might have been right before that. We saw what our parents let us see, but not and also we really weren't understanding what his jokes were about until like now. Now that you're older, you're understanding the meaning behind his actual jokes and what the actual, like, you must have been laughing at like You know how like sometimes not Disneyland, like
Oh, shit,
Disney
you don't know.
Disney shows will have like some like a meaning, like some
Subliminal
really
messages.
simple jokes. Like we're gonna throw this in there just to make the parents laugh.
Are you getting shit out Disney?
And I mean they do it because sometimes or like even Nickelodeon will do it, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Like all of Shrek, basically.
Yeah.
A
Oh, I
lot
love
of a lot of
Shrek.
Toy Story. Like
How
It grows
did that get in there? But he's pretty much like this. Netflix knew who they were bringing back, and the fact that we saw a little bit of this in the first special. I don't know how many he did, but the last one that he did that got some of that controversy, I'm sure that he was like, well, why the fuck are you inviting me? Why the fuck are you inviting me? And I think that's literally what he was trying to do now. Another thing is, I like to see or hear The Breakfast Club, and they invite so many different comedians, and they all say the same thing. It's so hard to be a comedian nowadays because you can't say shit because you offend somebody. So I like what you said that yes, you know, this is the way you feel, but I also don't think that a trans person might actually be in that. I don't think someone like that would want to support what Dave Chappelle is doing, you know? So
yeah, I mean, and that's why I'm also saying I don't think it should
Yeah.
be censored. I don't think it should be removed. But I can imagine like it's not for everyone. And obviously, if I was, you know, I don't know.
he's not gonna fucking change. I mean, I think he has enough money. He turned down
Oh yeah.
how much money back in the day, so
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna
South
change.
Africa.
And he doesn't have to, and he shouldn't, and it shouldn't be removed. I mean, not that he shouldn't, but it's like I think like you have to. I mean, it's hard too because he's obviously like he's a black man in America. Like he's been marginalized like his whole life. You know, like you know. So like he's been othered as well, but he also made those comparisons too, and he was just saying, you know, like I've had struggles too. Like he was almost saying like the trans struggle wasn't as big of a struggle as like, you know, the African American struggle, which like, you know, I can't speak to that at all, but I think that was like another thing that people were kind of like, you know, kind of didn't really address as much in the critiques of this because it's not something that people really like want to bring up or compare.
There was a joke that he said was like, okay, he was talking about DaBaby, right?
Yeah.
How he had,
You don't know who the baby is a rapper.
How a guy in Walmart,
Yeah.
Walmart can
Yeah.
get shot by a
He's a
baby
rapper.
and nothing matters.
by
She's like, "The baby?"
that you can kill,
What the
that
baby?
you can kill
a black man.
a black man.
Oh.
Nobody will say shit until, you know, someone like Dave Chappelle starts talking, you know, or making jokes towards the trans community.
And
Everyone's like at an uproar.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
Yeah, so the rapper
Yeah.
apparently shot
point
someone in Walmart a few years back, but didn't hurt his career. But then as soon as he was on stage saying something,
literally
Wh- wh-
killed
which,
a man.
wh-
so,
wh-
yeah.
which was offensive, like what he said on stage. I heard the audio and I'm like, wow. He just came. I was like, whoever doesn't
that was
have, you know,
stupid.
HIV
even
or
said he
AIDS
was
or anything like that,
stupid, too.
raise your phones up. You know, whoever doesn't suck a dick in the parking lot, raise your phones up. Like something, it was
It
cool,
was
like almost like
dumb.
that. And I'm like, and he was like in the middle of a performance, and I'm like, why the
That's
fuck would you
awkward.
say that?
Because some
That's
people form
fucking
like
offensive
HIV.
as shit. And I was like,
Yeah,
wow.
He's like stupid and naive.
Yeah.
We're putting these fucking people on pedestals.
Yeah, yeah.
What makes you think that he's?
Damn.
I forgot what I was saying.
Yeah, you're on a roll.
No.
Not
What,
like-
what
yeah.
makes you think that he's educated in that subject?
Yeah, it was like stupid thing that, but you know, like I like what I mean. I don't like what some of the reviews are saying. Like they put quotes of Dave Chappelle's like jokes on there, but they don't put like the positive things he's actually said about the LGBTQ
That's
plus.
how
He
it
like
is.
he was actually
Yeah.
support like before like he tells a joke. He's like support how great that movement is going. You know, because you know black people have been fighting for their rights for for all these years, and you know it's like now just over the last 20-30 years LGBTQ plus community is finally like they're rising up a lot more faster, and he's seeing how impactful that is. And then he tells a little joke and stuff like that, but it's like, okay, they don't catch that quote on there first.
Yeah,
like-
but I think it's also like if you're not talking about it, that's not just his thoughts. That's a lot of people's. Those are a lot of people's thoughts. I mean, you could also look at it in a way as he's bringing those subjects up, whether they're good subjects, they're bad subjects, whatever way you feel, you're talking about it. He's having people talk about it, and in one way or another, it's either like something's gonna come from it. So I think just the fact that the conversation is
Unfortunately, he's
happening.
the target.
I think
Yeah.
a lot of people who get offended by whatever he said or whatever are people who are uncomfortable with the topic.
And let's talk about
They
it.
don't want
you
to
know?
Yeah.
talk
And
about
he's
it
totally
because
okay
it's
with talking about it,
uncomfortable,
yeah.
which, you know, along with African Americans, it was very uncomfortable, and now
Mhm.
people talk about it, and it's like a regular thing.
Mhm.
But because the trans is, you know, it's still a big movement, it's still uncomfortable for a lot of people. And it's just like, why can't we talk about it and be open and it be okay? Like
Mhm.
that. And I think maybe that's what he was trying to do, make it seem like it's okay to talk about it. It's okay to, you know, play around and horse around about it, but don't try to downplay it like it's not really happening in our world.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Do we know what the trans community or LGBTQ plus they're saying about the show? Like what's
I haven't seen any quotes from them. Just more like people were
well, not
doing.
them. Just
Yeah.
I mean, like what
I'm
are
gonna go home and watch it after this.
Okay. Come on. All we're saying, like, you know, is
How long is it?
but it's like an hour and 30. It's actually. I mean, I laughed at some of the jokes. Like, it was just like, wow, like that's fucking hilarious. But the last joke, I mean, I don't want to ruin it for you, but unless you guys want me to, but like, it got me. I was like, I wasn't ready for
Say it.
that. Like,
I think
yeah.
I missed like
Yeah.
the last 4
Yeah.
minutes.
is it like a
Oh,
full circle?
it's the way it ends. Like,
I think so. That's what they're
Is it a
Yeah.
full circle? Because I like when they do that. Like
the whole thing comes together. At the end.
I mean, you could say that maybe, but like, I mean, he definitely makes a point about like
He's still getting
how the
paid.
trans community, you know, it's just like, you know, it's like it's so powerful movement, but then like when they get criticized, they attack people, and his joke at the very end comes up to full circle as to what happens when someone gets attacked. And it's just like, whoa. And so it's like, you know, it kind of brings you to reality. I thought it was going to be more like
Stop
funny.
it! Don't say
Yeah, I thought it was going to
anything.
be more like funny, but I was like, oh.
What was it?
Yeah,
It was
I
like
was
he's
saying
fighting
last
back.
night.
It's special too.
Yeah. And so it makes you think at the end. So it's like, I mean people who criticize it right now, like, unless they really watched it, like, I you know, I was like, you gotta watch it. You know, you gotta watch the whole thing before you actually criticize about it.
Well, think about it this way. Like, you know how Will and Grace started up again? And I used to love Will and Grace. But in this, for like a second, I'm like, oh, I really hope it's really funny and everything. And in the first few episodes, they mentioned Bush, the
Oh, it's very political,
Kardashians.
right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it annoyed me that they brought those topics up because I just wanted it to be plain old Will and Grace.
Turn
being-
off your brain.
Yeah, being funny.
You know, funny
And
shit.
I think with him too, I think he had to stay true to what it was.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I you know what, that made sense in my head, but not now that I'm
No,
saying
it
it
did.
out. No, but he had to do it, especially for all these comedians
Mm-hmm.
that like this is how they live, and it's so hard to try to make everyone laugh. And he'd have to change himself. I mean, wasn't that exactly why he turned down the money in the first place?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Dave Chappelle's the only one that actually like did it. You know, has been doing jokes about the trans community. I don't know if any other comedians actually really doing that.
I mean,
I mean,
sure,
Martin back in the day.
I'm
Yeah,
sure they
yeah,
have,
like-
but you know.
Yeah, but they're like worried. They're just
not
scared
in the
of
last
being
couple
canceled.
years, I'm sure.
Especially after like you know stuff like what happened to Kevin Hart, where he was supposed to host the Oscars, but then they tracked him down, saying stuff about his son being gay, and then they had to cancel him, cancel culture.
Yeah.
And Kevin Hart completely
Cancel.
apologized for that years
Yeah.
back, but still they wanted to cancel him. So he's like, there's too much controversy, so like I'm not gonna do it. And so like everyone's like kind of like like that's a subject they don't want to touch, but Dave Chappelle's like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say how it is.
Yeah.
And you kind of respect him for it. Like I said, I think he just went a little too long on it. I'm like, there's other subjects that happened throughout this whole year. I'm like,
Yeah.
Did you get bored watching that part?
actually, no.
Or
Okay,
you literally
okay,
watched
okay.
it
I
all?
think I got
was,
bored.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I stopped paying attention. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I get it. Like they
Yeah.
like someone in that community was kind of like assholes too. Also, like it's something that you also like you used to maybe joke about. It's not accepted anymore, and you're more so annoyed at the fact that like you can't joke anymore.
Yeah.
So I was like, I get it. Like, and also like, like I was saying, like I'm not a fan of censorship at all. Like I like want people to be able to like make jokes and stuff too. But I was like, it felt like a personal like thing. And
It was
it
more
felt
of a
like
rant.
we were watching like our friend. Yeah, because a lot of it wasn't like that. It wasn't as funny as any of his other things I've seen before.
Mhm.
So I was kind of like, okay, like, yeah, but
It's worth to watch though. Yeah.
So you gotta be careful what you say now, or put on emails or whatever online.
Okay.
It's like,
I was gonna transition to that,
I was
man.
say,
I was
what's his
gonna-
name? John
I was-
Gruden.
I was gonna
Sorry,
say-
we're going to sports now, but
Yeah,
John
yeah,
Gruden, you know what he said.
X.
well, and here we are
Yeah.
recording ourselves
Yeah,
speaking.
yeah,
That's why
yeah,
I said I don't want to
yeah,
talk
right,
about things
exactly.
anymore.
So that-
It's
I'm
okay,
not-
it's okay, it's
I'm not
okay.
comfortable like.
But-
doing
Yeah,
those things.
it's
But
okay.
it's like you got to be careful what you say, and you know, there's.
Yeah.
This was like something 10 years ago, but now that this whole is
Well, apparently
going
it's
on.
like it was started 10 years ago, but then they
Ended
found
in
more stuff.
2018.
Yeah, and then 20, so it was more recent.
He
So
just-
if you guys don't know, X Raiders head coach found some emails where he said a lot of I don't know. What do you like? A homophobic, racist
There
shit,
is.
a bunch.
Misogyny.
I don't know. Put
For
every
funsies, he was just sending it to
put
his
every
teammates,
offensive
or why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was talking to another coach or something, just back and forth
He said-
emails.
Yeah.
I don't
But the
know,
thing
there's,
that
like,
popped it
multiple
off was
things.
the comment he made about what a black person's
Marie
lips.
Smith.
That was the first thing.
Oh,
That was
yeah,
the thing
yeah.
that popped it off.
Yeah.
He
And
said
then
so
after
and so's
that-
lips are the size of Michelin tires. I
Yeah.
kind of laughed at it, but I mean, I get it. I mean, at first when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's kind of fucked up. But I was like, I think they'll move on from that. But then like
Nah.
a slew of like more emails came out.
But
Like,
it's
Yeah.
like,
This is the
what
kind of
is it?
fun.
Yeah.
What do you
And
what
it
do you
was
get
like-
If you're
from
gonna make
that?
a joke, make sure it's like funny.
Yeah,
That's-
one of the quotes was like he was like God, he was saying the Raiders suck. It's like, man, it's like a gay pride parade over here. It's disgusting.
He also
like,
made
"Whoa,
I was
he
like,
also made a gay
That's
comment
not
about because there was
funny.
this guy Michael Sam. He came out as like the first gay NFL player a few years back, but he didn't like make the team.
mhm.
But he made like a comment in the email about like why would they even bother drafting like a gay guy?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
something like that, some shit like that. And
Well, he has that one
Yeah.
guy.
That's
Nasib.
disgusting right there.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
putting
and
And
him
so,
down
how
like
does he
that.
feel? Like now he's all.
yeah,
Like, it was awkward.
I heard he had to take a couple days off, like to like kind of just reevaluate everything. 'Cause
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
probably a little upset.
Yeah,
Dude.
sure is. So.
He's upset probably because like he thought he could trust his coach and he thought his coach had
There's
his
a-
back, and then now he's
Yeah,
finding out.
there's a picture of them
Oh,
like
that's
hugging
his
too.
coach?
Like she was
No,
there
no,
for
so
him when he
they're-
came out.
The gay guy I was talking about, it was like a few years back. He
Uh-huh.
came out, and that's the comment that the coach made about that guy.
Mm.
But now, recently, there's a gay guy that came out that is on the Raiders,
Actively
and he's the
playing,
first
yeah.
player to actually play
Like
and
openly
be
gay?
openly gay.
Mhm.
And he finally came out, and now I guess he's kind of like distraught about it because I think like he thought
Yeah.
Gruden had his back, and now he's finding out
Yeah,
like
the coach.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, that
now he's
coach
finding
is
out that his coach
Yeah.
like had talked shit about gay people and stuff, and kind of just
Playing football too. Yeah.
It's like, why do you want to
But
play
that
for
just
that
shows you
guy?
someone who's obviously uncomfortable with gays and transgenders or the whole,
yeah.
the whole.
And that's
But
why
it's
the
like-
Raiders have sucked all these years, man, because we were led by a
But
racist.
honestly, I don't think I don't
That's the
think
last
that.
few years, but not.
I feel like some people are just so comfortable talking in a certain way, like,
Oh
like
yeah.
you know, like it's not even that they're racist; they're like unconsciously like
Yeah.
they're not. They may not say they're
a
racist.
lot
but
of our grandparents.
That's how we were
Yeah.
taught.
And,
unfortunately.
Oh.
and that's where like where it's like maybe like that's why like I think canceling is like, you know, it's like taking it too far. You need to like I don't even know, like rehabilitate or something because
And
it's,
it's
like
hard to change that behavior once it's been established, like in
But
rooted.
it's also
in
like people always say like our world is constantly changing. So why is it that when there's more gays or more transgenders, it's all of a sudden a problem for people to talk about or uncomfortable for people to talk about when you know that our world is constantly changing and things are constantly happening. Like,
yeah, I think it's just like this point in time though, because I think it's like in the way like because right now it's like being like hyper offended by something is like getting like a lot of like people will like back you up, I guess is the thing, so people feel like, you know, more comfortable like taking an extreme stance, but it's like because I don't think they're saying don't talk about it, but I think they're saying like don't like tell me, they like don't want you that. I think with like Dave Chappelle, for example, they didn't want him to like speak about them in a certain way, like because what he was basically saying was like, even though he said
on deck.
he's basically saying trans women aren't women, like that, like you're like, at the end of the day that you're a guy, and I think that's like the number one thing that they're like,
Well, that's his,
we're not,
that's
or
his-
That does
yeah,
hurt, though.
You're not gonna change.
yeah, and that makes sense, but it was just like kind of like, I think that I don't know how to like explain it, but I think they just felt like, you know, invalidated and
yeah, because since he,
and all that.
I get it, because since he has a voice, he's kind of like projecting to other people, like to make them feel the same way, like, oh, I don't think that they're considered women. So then other people are like, yeah, you know what, they shouldn't, you know, because he's in a position of power, I guess.
Yeah.
His platform.
But
platform.
the loudest voices will be people who are like super, you know, mad, and maybe like that anger makes them like make like bad points too. So I get where like that reaction is like making him even more emboldened to be like, you know, you're like, you know, I'm gonna go harder against you, because it's like, what is it called? Like when people double down when you come at someone with like anger and aggression, they're gonna like double down on their position, right? So I think that like that's probably a lot of what's going on both sides, you know. So
Damn. Yeah. See, all good discussion right here, man. It's a casual discussion.
Yeah, but it's okay. But it's okay to be talked about and it's okay to be discussed. And
Yeah.
that's the thing too. What I'm against is like when people have like questions about certain communities and someone gets even offended by the question. Like that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like they're like, if this, then why this, or what? You know, like, and they're like, why would you even ask that? Do you hate us? And it's like,
The fuck?
it's like
Just
let them ask
Educate,
because
you
it's
know,
like
educate them then. In
Yeah.
that case,
Yeah.
if they don't want to be educated, well then fuck you.
grew up being taught,
Yeah.
you know, like
Uh,
to. I mean, we're older, you know, so we were still in like a very like hateful, like
Yeah,
fucking
we
definitely
are part of that
mainstream society.
yeah.
And I remember
Sounds
actually.
you're like I was born in the 90s.
Not only that,
Oh,
dude, but
God.
we're
Oh, you
Latinos.
too.
99.
Yeah, we're Latinos,
Harder in Mexico.
yeah. So it's yeah.
Oh, were you born in 99?
94.
No.
You
Oh,
said
well,
99.
Nah, but
Are
I
you
was
the
just saying 'cause
youngest?
you-
Are you the
yeah,
youngest here?
she's
Oh wait,
the
when's
youngest.
whenever?
You're 20.
she's my
What year?
sister's age. She's my shit.
96.
Holy shit.
She's like a year older than.
Aww.
So you're 25.
I'll be 25 in November.
Okay.
She's like, my bones ache.
Wait, you're 20. You're 20. Oh,
She's like,
20. You're gonna be
24.
25.
did you hear the bones crack when she did that?
So you were 90. Shoot, you're 96.
96, yeah.
Damn, babies.
Okay, Leslie.
Leslie's like, I'm loving this couch right now.
Must.
Is it really enjoyable?
Do you want a blanket?
That couch is kind of comfortable.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh my god. But yeah, any other topics this week?
Oh, was that the only topic we were talking
Well,
about?
that was the biggest one I can think of. Yeah.
People in California
Halloween.
are dumbass drivers.
Oh,
I was saying that on the way here. I was like, I think that Fremont, Union City.
Dude, it's
Hey,
bad.
Fremont
Yeah.
is oh my god, getting to work. No, dude, it's bad. I fucking hate Fremont.
People are afraid to merge.
And then when they do merge, they just
Drive.
fucking hit you.
Half
Caleb
an
was
hour.
having a bad day.
Half an
That's
hour,
why
like
I
3
tried
accidents on
sauce.
the way here.
Oh no.
I was in an accident on
bad day.
Thursday.
You got in an accident.
Were they at fault?
Who? You?
Well, hopefully the
Was it like
insurance
big?
money will be more than the damage.
Not really. I mean, the
Fender?
whole side of my car's fucked up, but I'm getting
that
it
is big.
fixed, so.
That is
Where are you
bad.
getting to fix
Swipe
that?
the whole side.
It's just swipe.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
someone-
someone side.
Oh,
Yeah.
but
That's a
Yeah.
fear of mine being in a car accident.
My brother's gonna try to
Yeah.
pitch.
Yeah.
Dude,
I
my mom's was just.
So I know a guy.
I know
But
guys.
I was
Call
like,
my
I don't know
dad.
if it's through my insurance. And
I think we were doing that
Depends
too
on
one
insurance, I
time at
guess.
St. Patrick's Day.
My mom's
You're
was
over our house.
swiped too, and it turned out to be totaled.
It can be a total loss.
Yeah, they said it's total,
Damn.
so they paid her out.
Well, this
Pretty
happened to
good.
me. This happened to me 2.5 years ago, and it was like $1,500 worth of damage.
Oh, it happened already?
It happened
God.
2.5 years
It
ago,
happened
and then it
this
happened again on
week.
Thursday.
Oh,
Like 2
But
years
on the
later.
other side of my car. So one side of my
okay.
car and now the other side.
oh. Okay.
Damn, dude.
Damn.
Side swiper.
Oh.
Damn.
That's rough.
Did they
Yeah.
drive away or did they like?
The person who initially caused the accident drove away, but the person who hit me did not.
Okay.
Bitches.
Hey,
But the guy had a dash cam, so we'll see if he
I'll
catches
see
it.
if that works, man.
It was in Fremont?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Up
God, there's
there.
cameras everywhere.
Mm. Jessica, anything?
You should.
I got a parking ticket. Nah.
Me
We talking about cars? No. So I don't have to pay it. So it's one of those things where you put in your license plate, and I put in a 0 instead of an O. So when I got there, the guy was actually giving me a ticket, and I'm like, dude, I have a receipt. Like I still have half an hour, and he's like, let me look at your receipt, and he's like, oh, license plates in California have 2 digits.
Oh,
blah,
hell
blah, blah,
no.
blah. And I'm like, don't mansplain it for me.
Bro.
Just tell me why the fuck I got a ticket. And he's like, oh, it says 0. I was like, all right, cool. I'm like, can you avoid it? He's like, nope. And he's like, no, I can't.
Give me some,
Okay.
give me some- no.
I'm like, you're doing your job,
Oh, you going
whatever.
better?
So I
Oh,
just,
no.
I have to just submit it online, but I've just been lagging hella hard.
The
my
devil's
God,
work.
just do it.
Meter maids.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ugh.
so the cops switch jobs.
I
Oh,
should.
just
I
the
really wanted to
Jameson
be
and
like,
Coke.
whatever. Okay,
Where was this at?
enjoy your
Thank
enjoy
you.
your job. Bye.
Where was this at? In
I wanna be a
San
big show.
Francisco or?
It happened in San Mateo.
Oh, okay.
My job was closed down for
Are
a
you
few
taking
days.
shots by yourself in the corner?
Jenny,
Kayla's
heard the shot
already-
glass.
yeah.
Jenny's here for that.
Jenny's,
shot glass.
Jenny is
But
here
you know,
to
it's funny
pre-game.
that's what I thought right away when I heard that. I'm like, that's a shot glass.
That's a shot
She's
glass.
24. She's like, this is so boring. She's like, someone get me to a club.
Dude.
I need this to get through the rest of the podcast. I'm just kidding.
Leslie, you want to come on here and talk about the baby game? How's it going?
But the baby.
The baby. The baby.
Does
The
your
baby.
baby? Does your baby have any feelings about the baby's recent comments?
About what?
The baby's recent comments.
Yeah.
She's talking about a rapper that's called
The
The
Ba-
Baby.
The Baby.
Yeah.
Why is he called
Yeah.
baby?
I don't
That's
know.
just
Just
the way-
he's a
that's his name.
baby.
You know how many rappers have the name Little in front of it first? It's ridiculous.
Lil.
Thanks for coming.
Wayne.
And so how you guys feel, man?
She's at
You guys getting
Feeling
close?
good? Yeah, we're
Feeling
we're
good?
getting close. Yeah, we're you know.
She's not at Moxie.
Time's flying.
Is the baby room together?
No, not really. I mean, we gotta get started.
Oh.
Man, what's wrong with you? I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I'm
clean,
waiting for it.
clean everything, tidy everything up in
Sounds
there.
like
and
new
then-
parents.
30 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get it figured out.
Yeah,
By
so
night.
you
So
know.
that means it's
Well,
totally
it doesn't
okay.
even matter because the baby's gonna be with you guys
Yeah.
anyway.
You planning to have the baby
Is
sleeping
it
next to you
still
guys?
in the other side?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you guys
I'll
were
bet
on
one
top
over
of it
here.
all, I'd be a little concerned.
I know.
what
Man,
do
you
you
guys are
You
good.
guys have a lot of
Oh,
free
shit.
time.
It's either the
Yeah.
parents are not like completely prepared or the parents are like
Still
overly
feeling you.
prepared, like way too much. It's like
How were you guys when you first? I mean,
we were
like,
the same thing. Like it
just
wasn't until the
kinda
last few
ready.
weeks until we were finally like setting up the actual
Exactly.
crib. And so like I mean we didn't like paint the walls or anything like that. Like no, I mean
It's just been
it's always
busy,
nice when
man.
people do that, but I'm like I don't know. I'm not into for that yet.
Yeah, it's been,
It's
but exciting. It's getting
yeah.
closer. He's kicking more. There's not a lot of room in there anymore, right?
Not a lot of room.
He's rolling around.
Okay, get me out.
Get me out.
Does he have a middle name? Is it your name?
Yeah. Another Fernando. Jenny's like, no.
Yeah. Oh man, can't wait for that.
I saw what you put on the game. What'd you put? You put Leslie's personality or?
That she hopes he has daddy's eyelashes.
Oh. Okay.
And I said like you're like, what did I say? Something about you, physical too.
Smile?
Your brain?
Smile, yeah.
Smile.
Not my brother's
Oh yeah,
brain.
Leslie's got that perfect smile.
I didn't compliment either of your personalities, okay?
I know.
Just kidding.
I so did.
Eyelashes.
Donick was gonna put something dirty on
Eyelashes.
there.
I didn't even notice my eyelashes.
Dominic put that he hopes the baby has daddy's hair.
He did put that.
My hair's kind of messed up.
Yeah, I think I put Hopes has the mom's personality.
Well, that's what you put.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to stay quiet about that the whole time.
He's like, oh, I didn't say that.
Like, well, that was me.
That was me.
You won't be able to go to restaurants.
Man. We went to go pick up his 70 from work and we went by Lake Elizabeth and near all the soccer fields. I let JJ loose.
Oh yeah.
Yes, God. Yes, God. You want to go play soccer? Yeah. Like, I was just going to watch him go, but then I realized, like, oh, he's going way too far, way too fast. So I started running next to him with the stroller.
I was
like, JJ was like straight up running, man.
took him
Is he running with
Target
his Sonic?
for the first time.
Seriously, dude. Yeah.
I know. No, there's
Yeah.
no video. Oh, there's just a picture. I'm like, I was
Oh,
telling her
wow.
how.
Like, how big enough was he?
Yeah.
I was telling her how we took him to Target.
Oh, yeah.
7, 8.
JJ went to Target the other day.
For the first time. That was like my first time actually. Well, no, he had gone to like
A store.
like a gift shop. I think at Lake Tahoe was when we went that one time.
Gift shop.
But no, this is like the first time like we had to like. I wanted him to like just go and experience it. He went right through.
Seriously,
He saw
dude.
everything and he was like.
Oh, like a little, like, what are the ones? The little beaker from the Muppets?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Squeaky toy, what?
think
Yeah.
It's the little guy that's like...
Santi has no idea who that is,
I
but Jenny is
know.
like, I'm this old, showing your
know.
age. I know who
doesn't
Beaker is.
either.
I know who.
So I had the mom.
She don't
I
know
told
either.
her it reminds me of
God
the-
damn it. But yeah, the first section we go to is the return section, and sure enough, there's a
man.
mom there
That
with her
was
kid.
terror.
And then a kid was screaming his head off, crying.
Well, the mom was returning
Yeah.
the lamp that had a
Okay.
Spider-Man
Oh, yeah.
on it.
Let's
And the
get
kid
on it.
really, really wanted it, but
Doesn't he want a candy?
he left pissed. He was like, like off the top of his lungs,
Take a look.
leaving. And I was afraid that would trigger, JJ and be like, or like start crying or something.
Yeah.
But I think like I was more nervous than anything because I was like my first time intentionally like taking him to like a department store, and I was like,
Crazy
get the
doesn't
fuck
spread
out.
his stuff.
I've never. No, I thought it was gonna trigger him to like to cry or with him like I'm
How
having
good.
to the voice.
Yeah, it's
exactly.
fine.
So I was freaking out, but like I've never walked through a Target so fast because I was with JJ. I'm like I need to get out.
I did see
So you
someone
can't even
crying
enjoy
at the
Target
farmer's
anymore.
market.
Oh,
We
Usually
saw a
I'm
kid-
like,
a
I
kid
didn't get
crying
out.
at the
Get the
farmer's
fuck outta
market.
here.
He was just like,
No.
Oh, JJ doesn't like when people yell.
no.
No, he gets really sad.
He's really
He's like, he does the lip.
Aw.
Yeah, he was really sad. Like at baseball games or the
Well,
movie.
we were
watching
yelling
Oh,
at
we
his
were
Giants game
we were
yesterday.
celebrating
He
and
doesn't like
everything.
Happy Meals?
He doesn't
Well,
know.
It's just
I think just
Yeah.
loud
Yeah.
voices in
Yeah.
general.
It's a
Yeah.
lot of yelling and
Unexpected, like
Yeah.
you know.
Get
Or,
startled.
Luckily, he's
Yeah.
okay when you sing happy birthday to him, but you have to do like they have to gradually
You
like
have to,
happy
countdown.
birthday.
I remember I just partied.
Yeah, yeah.
He gets very
Like the
triggered by the
dolphin
happy
that you
birthday
have.
song.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was
Very
very
triggered.
It's a happy song, damn it.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's funny too because we have this like Elmo going on blast over here. I'm surprised the people don't walking by don't hear it. They have it open.
I'm sure they hear it.
Yeah, Elmo on repeat. But
Yeah.
thank God for YouTube because
Yeah.
YouTube has Elmo's World for like 4 hours straight. So I'm like, just watch it.
Oh,
Yeah,
God,
I
sounds
wake
chill.
up with Elmo songs in my head every night.
What's the name of the little goldfish?
Here we go.
Oh,
That'd be torture for us.
Super
Huh?
simple.
What's
He
the
has
name of
like
the
a little-
goldfish?
He has a
Yeah.
little goldfish.
Dory.
$9.99.
Dory.
Dory. No,
I went
that's
to,
Oh, and he
is
goes,
it Dory?
"Elmo's
Where?
is goldfish
Yeah.
is
Jenny.
Were you like getting all the home games?
Elmo's." Yeah, Mimi
That's
got
my
me a
last
little
year
toy,
doing season
and I
tickets
was
with my
like,
friend.
Oh, you have season tickets?
We don't have to
That
watch
That was
the
like,
whole
that was
Uh,
like the catchiest part.
We went
Yeah.
the Super Bowl year.
She's
Went to
Elmo's
all
Or
the
watch
games.
Daniel Tiger.
Or
But I'm just going to
Moana.
2 more.
Or Moana.
I
He
need to
loves
rewatch
Moana.
that
I was looking at
movie.
tickets.
I just sing Moana,
The next game?
Moana, and
No,
make
what happens?
Yeah.
Alright.
Coach?
I love it when Jessica watches Moana. She's like, I don't get it.
Is
She
it
only
Trey
watches
Lance
certain
party?
parts. She's never watched the whole
Oh,
movie.
he is.
We've watched. I feel like I've
You are,
watched it.
yeah,
Me,
for
right?
sure.
We've watched
Yeah.
it so many
What
times.
is this?
They're running
But then
it
they
too
tell
much,
me
bro.
like this
Yeah.
last time I said it, and I was like, who the
I mean,
is
yeah,
this
like
like an
that.
extension or is this like a new thing?
Like that.
And
Maybe
and Maria's
like
like,
that,
it's because
yeah.
you always just watch the beginning and then he loses interest.
Hopefully he gets better.
Mhm.
I'm like,
Like
okay.
his
Who else
doctor.
is seen?
Yeah.
I don't think he's good.
But anyway, I'm gonna close right
It's
now.
not a
So
good
it
movie.
seems like we're not on a
Yeah. We're just talking bullshit.
Are we still doing the podcast?
Yeah, no, we'll end it now. But thank you guys for listening in. It's a random ass episode. Random
So
ass
just like
topic.
that special, we
Just
only
like
had
that.
one
Just like
topic
that.
as well.
Yeah, we're gonna end it just like that. Episode
Are you able to edit
90.
it?
Huh?
Are you able to edit it?
I can edit it.
I mean, like cut like the.
I can cut you out if you want.
or when we said certain things.
It's episode 98.
Just most of it.
100. We'll do something cool.
Most of
It's like most
it. All of it.
Damn.
That's
We're
what
renting a
happened.
hall, you guys.
I did it.
Renting a hall.
Yep, no one here.
Are you for what?
Oh good
For
lord.
the 90th, I'm sorry, the 100th episode.
We're not
Oh,
gonna
for
rent
real?
a hall.
We should rent the little place.
You're gonna have a party.
You're gonna
like
stream.
a quinceañera.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a bunch of people in there.
You're gonna strip.
Yeah.
They're gonna stream it
probably
live
have
to.
tables.
Well, they probably don't allow that yet.
What was the country that your fan club?
They allowed at my place.
Oh, Netherlands.
The Netherlands.
Oh, you have a fact?
We